The language I spoke in the Gulf was redneck because if you need anything done, you had to deal with the rednecks. So, redneck mechanic, redneck cook, redneck supply person, redneck medic from Tennessee.
How much duct tape did you use?
Before we start, hey, by the way, what's the guide on? That's the first time I've seen your guide on back there, Brad.
Hang tight one moment. Okay.
Infantry.
It is infantry, yeah. It's 1st of the 41st Mechanized Infantry. It's the headquarters and headquarters company guide on, which was where I was attached to, a part of. Okay.
Hey, look, while you're yelling at TV shows, now we picked up some.
Okay, so we are live. We don't worry, we didn't catch too much of the. I think other than the thing about the French not being able to translate their something that got on the stream, which will be kind of fun later. I don't think we have any actually French viewers. It's okay if we don't.
If they did, I might have tried to negotiate a Peugeot Jeep from one of them at one point.
Oh boy. Okay.
Actually, a student told me that the French don't like leaving France because they feel so uncomfortable in other countries that they just prefer to stay in theirs and have people visit so they can show how superior they are. I'm like, wow, you're going to go far in this world.
Okay.
In library.
America. I don't give a shit.
Nice. Okay, so welcome adventurers to a realm where imagination knows no bounds and the fate of kingdoms hangs in the balance. Gather round as we embark on an epic journey through the realms of Dungeons & Dragons where heroes are forged and legends are born. Join us as we delve deep into dungeons teeming with danger, traverse ancient forests alive with magic, and confront the darkest evils threatening the land. With each roll of the dice, the story unfolds, shaped by the decisions of our intrepid band of adventurers. Guided by a master storyteller and wielders of dice, our adventurers will face challenges both fearsome and fantastical. Will they emerge triumphant, or will they fall to the perils that lurk in the shadows? So grab your sword, ready your spells, and prepare for an unforgettable journey into the heart of adventure. And welcome to our live Dungeons & Dragons stream, where the only limit is your imagination. So, welcome back all. It's been a month. But I'm glad to see everybody's here. I'm glad to see everybody is healthy. And I'm glad to see that you all are ready for a night of gaming. Before we get started, though, I'd like to wish a happy birthday to Kiffy and Timble real quick. Happy birthday, gentlemen. Hope it's a good one. Hope it was a good one. I think Mike, yours was a while back, a couple of weeks, like
Saturday.
a week ago. Saturday. Was it last Saturday? Last Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I think. Glenn, yours is yesterday? Oh, okay. Good. Well, happy birthday, guys. That's awesome. Tonight we're doing...
I told him to say that. You fuck all y'all's.
Damn. Tonight we're doing something a tad bit different when it comes to the stream. We're not only just streaming to Twitch, we're also streaming to YouTube at the same time. Something different. We're on two different platforms. So look at us go. Look at us. Yeah. So yeah, we started doing that just this past weekend with my Call of Cthulhu group, and we made some changes to their stream, but I didn't want to make any like really sweeping changes to this stream until like maybe down the road or whatever. But I figured, you know what, streaming to two platforms at the same time is not going to be It's not going to kill anything. So this is good.
Are you? Technical question: are you using OBS?
I'm using Streamlabs OBS.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was OBS.
Yeah. I mean, which is kind of about the same. But again, before we get started, I'd like to go ahead and do introductions. And we're going to start, of course, with our own Grenna up there in the corner. Or somewhere.
Linda, I play Grenna Babbleboot, a Gnomon Ranger with her pet board Bubble.
Hi, I'm Mike. I play Kiffy Blackhammer, a Dwarven Cleric of Timble.
Hello, I'm Pav. I play Human Paladin of Heronius.
I'm Russ. I play Jarngrimr Tolframathur Halderson, a fire mage.
I'm Ed, and I'm currently banned on Twitter for making some derogatory comments about some people that want to play dress up. But I also play Tomas Waverly, bard and fighter from the yeomanry.
I am Glenn. I play Timble Snivenblaven, a gnome who's stuck with this batch of heathens.
But you're an artist.
Hey, I ran out of paper to scribble this shit on, so...
So we're heathens. Does that mean you've found a deity?
Oh man, that'd be awesome if you played a cleric.
I've always had a deity.
I didn't think money was a deity.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Real quick, to all the Arizona fans, go Cats. Bear down.
Okay.
I heard her. I've already heard. If anybody hears any yelling, Stephanie's listening to the game upstairs. So
Cool. All right. It looked like we lost somebody there for a moment.
Yeah, you're back.
only for a moment,
And then
but the
She just
moment's
put
gone.
a change her spot in that order.
Timble becomes the dungeon master. I'll just send all of my files over to you, buddy.
Okay, doke.
Ooh.
Please, Andy, what would you like to do? Let's unmake the world.
Need that mouse movie thing.
I can just see it now. You guys look okay. So we have 3 decks of many things here. You have 3 whole decks. Start dealing them out. I can see it. Be like, well, shit. And there goes the game.
Shuffle.
Yeah, don't forget to shuffle.
Is, how do you deal it? Do you deal it the traditional way where you say, I'm going to flip X number of cards, and you have to flip them? Because I'll say, if you mix them all together, I'd take a deck of many things, and I'll draw 5.
Of course you would. He'd be happy to. Alrighty, so yes, yeah. So everybody, welcome back. So the last time that we were all together, you had been kind of unceremoniously swept out of the throne room at the castle of Instead. You were
Paladin knows the wrong people.
yeah. From what you gather, there was some sort of a problem. Melda's name came up in court. I believe it was Kellix had let slip the name, and then all types of chaos occurred. And you all were kind of shown out into a foyer outside of the throne room, which, yes, Calyx.
All right. So I did say that I had some questions before we got started.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So because I kind of went through my notes, and they're horrible, and the spelling is probably wrong. So, do we know the actual names of Melda's parents? But do we know them?
The only person who may actually know them would be the bard. And so if the bard will make a bardic knowledge check, we could see if he might actually know a little bit about the history.
Hey, Calix, what do you say you and me go find a page somewhere, drag him out back, and beat the information from him?
We're friends here, so do you want a history, Brian?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
I can play good cop. You can play bad cop.
Woo!
Nice. Okay.
Fucking rip that bitch.
Yeah. So yes, and most likely this is something that he would have shared with you. And so, what was the question you had again? Whose parents?
Melda's parents.
Okay. You are not really too okay. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. Melda's parents, you don't. The only one that you know of is the name Kalishan, which she actually told you. And she believes that her mother's name is Amthavara. So okay. Kalishan and Amthavara are her parents.
Okay. So with that, we know she was part of the Vesvi Ranger group.
Yes.
And I have a note here. It said, and I'm not sure I can't remember where I got it from or what episode, but I have a note here that said Ilianda, which I think I spelled Yolanda wrong.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Had a thing with a captain of the guard called Kalishan. Is that right?
That is true.
Okay. And is it Yolanda? It's not Ilianda?
Right, it's Yolanda.
Okay. There is no Ilianda. Okay.
No,
and
but that's okay.
Next question I should have asked at the last episode was the elf in my dream Queen Yolanda?
The elf in your dream. It seems that the elf in your dream is definitely this woman. Yes, it is Yolanda.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
So putting that together, yes. Yeah, obviously I've stirred up a freaking hornet's nest. So, all right, cool. You may continue.
Okay, cool. Great.
One quick question.
It's all.
Okay, Dobby. Sorry, Abby.
No worries. I was just making comments about our elf lover here. They're in his dreams, his room.
Okay.
There are two elves in it.
Is it Asanyith, the little bit slower sister elf?
Okay, Asenath. Asenath is the youngest sister of because you have Syntycha, you have Val, which is their middle brother, and then you have Asenath.
For the record, trying to translate Ed's drunk typing of Elvish is an adventure. So
You can see mine.
or Asanath, or shut up.
Okay.
As we were being escorted out, what was she doing at that point? Because remember, I was kind of playing to her a little bit.
Right. Okay, so you're asking about when you all were kind of hustled out of the room?
Correct.
Yeah. She was just kind of standing there with a complete shocked look on her face. The way you were kind of reading her facial features is that she had never heard the name before and was unfamiliar with this. She was just completely clueless. Like I said, Syntycha looked like she was about ready to murder somebody. Val was just trying to keep, like he's obviously heard the name before, but yeah. So
at this point, thanks to Pav, we're going to go ahead and turn this into the Dwarves of the Crystal Mist Mountain campaign, and
you're welcome.
Okay.
As long as it doesn't hurt the General Hospital.
In your case, Captain Stupid Pants. Anyway.
My question is, Syntycha.
Today,
she was looking rather pissed when they took us out.
Yes.
Okay. And she's the crown princess?
Correct.
Okay. That's what I needed to know.
Okay. Very, very good.
One of these days, I would love to see all of our notes all just compiled into one.
Yeah. You may not want that.
Yeah.
But then
Not
again.
for my stuff like that. Look like I went to Indiana public school, shit like that.
All right. Okay. So so Val leaves you there in this little room off to the side for just a few moments. You can hear that the sounds on the other side of the door have died down significantly, probably over about a 4-minute period, where at one point in time it sounded like there was it sounded quite intense. So a few moments later, he appears once again, and he says, unfortunately, I believe the Queen definitely would like to speak with you again, but not at this time. She has asked me...
So under house arrest?
No, you're not under house arrest, but it would be wise of you not to... I wouldn't try fleeing the city, if that is your intent. He just kind of gives you a smile. He's like...
Would you deign staying with us so that we can ask a few questions?
Of course, I would be happy to.
For ale?
Oh, are we going for drinks? This is... I am totally on board with this. And he says, yes, I guess we should go to the Broken Bow then.
I think we might.
Sounds like
Get
a
there
plan.
before the lunchtime crowd?
Yeah, it is a little early, but I'm not one to turn down a nip before lunch. Yes, let's go.
Second lunch.
Second lunch, that's it.
Second lunch, yeah. Okay. So, so he walks you all out into the courtyard and takes you just a couple of minutes to get over to the Broken Bow, where he asks for kind of a private room for you guys to, and they do have private rooms for for
Guards come
special.
with us?
No, the guards actually stayed outside. Usually he travels with 2, but he did not have them come in. He just decided to have them wait outside. And so, what the... let's see, let me try to get some information for you all, because there's so many names. So many
We're undoing.
So many names. Oh, yeah. The Zathia Silvermoon, who was the waitress, barmaid who had helped you all before, had served you, shows you to a room up on the second level, and she bows to
Val.
and says she would be and she says she'll bring you up some food and things of that nature pretty soon. and ale, of course. So there's a table in here, a good size, it's a table that everyone could sit and dine at, and you all take your seats. And just after everybody gets settled in, you see a couple of other barmaids that you're not familiar with walk in, and they have large mugs of ale, and they have brought bread and cheese and set it
Are
down.
they elven barmaids or?
Oh yeah,
I'm assuming the majority of the populace is elven. Right?
Yeah, I would say most likely you're not going to find a lot of other races here. I mean, there are some, but you pretty much figure that here it's just going to be pretty much elves.
Like an 80-20 split.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So they leave the victuals and drinks, and once the door closes, Val just sort of looks over at each of you and says, "Well," and he raises his mug and says, "To your good health in future travels, wherever the Queen may take you or send you." Sorry about all of that before. Court can be quite messy.
Family business is never.
That was my fault. So
Right.
I have misspoken. So
That's okay. You meant no harm by it, so I'm not too concerned.
But what you said there, is it for what happened there? It hasn't ruined what we actually came here for.
I don't believe so. I believe that things may have changed, though. I don't think the Queen is going to send you to Amarillo.
So we're not going to be in Amarillo by morning?
No, I don't believe so.
Thank you. I have a song stuck in my head now.
That's what bards do.
Val? If I may kind of intrude upon you to explain some perhaps family business, as it has, well, it seems to come into great bearing upon, well, many things. Our lives, perhaps, even the fate of Bissell. I mean,
Agreed.
my goodness, it's reached so far. So forgive me if I'm blunt and really digging, but I think we've earned it. If
I
you don't
understand
think so,
that.
please let us know. But
Well, let us speak frankly. I'm completely understand why you would feel this way, and I am more than willing to give you as much answers as I possibly can of the knowledge that I hold. So please continue.
for us against Melda. What is she to the court and to Queen Yolanda?
Oh, okay. Well, that right there is a very interesting story in itself. It was rumored at one point.
And drinks. So please expound.
He says that what has happened is that there was a rumor that had been passed around for several hundred years, actually. Before the Queen was married to Celene, her husband, she was just a baroness here in Instead. Her mother Shira had come from the south of Celene for some time, probably close to 800 years ago, possibly. I mean, Yolanda was still very, very young. And she had, as the rumors goes, she had fallen in love with a young captain of the guard. His name was Kalashan. And they, in secret, had a child. And this child's name was Melda. Celene was severely aggrieved by this information, for he had been sort of like a brother to this Kalashan, and from what was told throughout history was that the young woman. The baby, Melda, and her father were murdered by the king, or were actually slain by the king. So that is the story that has gone on for. Yes.
Athlane.
Yeah, Ethelane, yes, had. I don't think he did it by his own hand. He probably had ordered his men to take care of that. So with that in mind, that is how the story came to be. So you are saying that this Melda person, that grandmother Shira, has talked about, you have met an elven woman named Melda?
We have.
Not sure "met" is quite the right word.
And well, she has joined our merry band for a time. I'll say that.
Okay, so from
But we've also met Shira.
I know that my grandmother does get around. She does travel extensively, and she does not. She will disappear from time to time and not tell others, for she has the ability to walk through trees. So it is quite easy for her to make her way pretty much anywhere. She's very well traveled, being someone who is over 1,000 years old herself. So
Through trees or via trees?
by way of trees, she can walk through them and teleport through trees to other trees that she has seen in her many travels.
That would be.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's quite.
Here, bud, have some beer.
He said it's quite an impressive feat. I have watched her, and I've actually, yeah. So with that in mind, the reason my mother acted the way she did is because my mother has always been told, for as long as she has been queen, is that her first daughter and her beloved were slain. So she believes that Shira may be grasping at some sort of straw or some sort of hope, but she doesn't understand, and I don't even understand why Shira would even try to come up with these fanciful stories. I mean,
Syntycha.
But I don't understand it. Why would that make Queen angry? I mean, wouldn't she be joy?
You have to understand, my sister, Syntycha, has my mother's ear at all times. And Syntycha is to be the new queen, eventually.
Feels threatened.
Yes, number one. And then, of course, my grandmother and my sister do not get along at all. I think my grandmother's
Was that
senses...
before her, did they get along before she had her little sickness and coma thing?
Yes, I mean, Syntycha at one point in time was an absolute beloved child here. I mean, the people absolutely...
And she acted like a completely different person?
Correct.
Then Shira started cooling off and making her distance from her.
True. But I know it doesn't seem like that I'm the type of person, but I do have my own spies within the walls of my mother's castle. And
you should.
And I have a feeling that my sister is holding some sort of secret over my grandmother's head and is trying to keep her in line. But unfortunately, Shira is not one of those that likes to be kept under thumb. So I'm still trying to figure out the best way. And of course, I don't want to embarrass my grandmother, especially at court. That would just wouldn't be right, and I'm not that type of person. So,
having met Melda, I think it's curious. I think your sister may have a solid reason to be fearful of Melda. But knowing Melda, I don't know that it's completely warranted.
You know how Kellex feels.
Yeah. We just fended off an attack by the Dark Elves upon a queen. So I'm fearful. She took a walk into the markets and came back suddenly a different person. And I'm not saying it's the drow. I'm just saying something clearly has happened here. For someone to change literally overnight.
At least in the perspective of elves.
Yeah, well, gee, over the hour. It seems quite puzzling. How well do you fully trust your sister? What do your spies say?
I don't even need spies for this. My sister is a conniving, backstabbing, very aggressive and ambitious woman. My fear, and probably the fear of probably others, is that when she finally does ascend the throne, Celene will be in for a very long, dark period indeed.
I would say that that kind of you better prepare.
Yes.
I think that's a very polite way to do it. Make your have connections outside of the court and perhaps with other elven nations. You may need to move.
Run away!
I just, in my heart, I feel that something is wrong within court, and she's at the heart of it. But who's really at the heart of it? Who's behind her?
Moss says specifically to Timble, do you perhaps know any artists or maybe members of the Artisan Guild in this region that might be able to paint a better picture of this?
I don't know, but it's certainly worth collaborating.
Well, while I don't know the ways of machinations like my gnome friend here does, do you think?
What about me?
Do you think Melda is aware of her lineage?
I think there's no doubt.
Do you think the grandmother has passed any of this on to her?
I think Melda's fully aware. I think she's probably.
I'm kind of asking the prince to see what his thoughts are.
Most likely, if Shira has met with Melda, I of course have no idea what was talked about, because Shira has not said anything to me concerning her recent travels, and from what it sounds like, this has been something that was handled within probably the last couple of months. So.
You have a good relationship with your mother, or your grandmother?
Oh, of course, very much so. Matter of fact, I've actually been tree striding with her a few different times, but only to areas not usually well within Celene. I'm actually very busy.
Busy with what?
Well, I am the head of the Queen's Rangers, and I am. This is a kind of a big job for me.
You might want to tie yourself much closer to your grandmother.
Oh, of course. Well,
and that to me seems a paramount duty and part of your being a ranger.
Well, that's a beautiful thing.
Delegate some of your courtly duties to your second, and start working with your grandmother. Ask questions.
Well, unfortunately, there's not really someone that I can right now just thrust into the courtly limelight. And of course,
you drink like this.
So he says, "No, it seems that if there is a Melda, this is going to be, and we can prove that she is of the lineage or the line of my mother, then that will throw the line of secession into question. This will cause, I mean, I can't even imagine what it will cause, but I can definitely see that Syntycha will probably find some way, shape, or form into either questioning the legitimacy, or she will use more darker forces. Which is, here's something a lot of people may be quite surprised at. At one point in time, my sister was going to take up knightly orders and be a paladin until her accident, and then she slipped into more darker. She took on more studies of sorcery and things of that nature, which is a fine profession if that is what you. But she never expressed a desire to become a sorceress before.
You recognize the name Toby?
Toby? No, I'm afraid not. Is this a fellow of Melda's or of your team?
No, this is a dark character that we came across.
Oh.
And he seems to have his hand in everything. So I just had to ask. But I will say this: you certainly need to solidify your position. Find someone and some persons to work with at the head of the Rangers to solidify your strength. You have to take care of yourself and your sister, Asenath.
Oh, understandable.
She's too young to be able to do it herself. And
True.
as you say, your mother seems to be tied firmly to your Syntycha's little finger whims, whatever you want to call it. She's certainly.
Well, I'm kind of thinking if there's a way. Yeah.
Is it possible you could get us into or invite your grandmother down for some ale?
Most likely, the easiest way to be able to get a hold of my grandmother is to go to the Life Tree. She spends most of her time there when she's not traveling. I'm sure you saw the gigantic oak that stands upon the island. You will find her and her cadre of druids tending to the tree itself.
I definitely think we should go there and talk to her. But at the same time, would you like to join us in speaking to her to help tie you two together? I'm deathly afraid that my young friend Val might be in danger. A narcissistic leader comes into power. The first thing they do is solidify it and cut off, kill any other contend, and that's you and your sister.
Right, and poor Asenath is just finally getting trying to find her way in this world of courts and kings and queens.
Guard her from your sister.
Oh,
and sure that she does not also fall into that trap.
Yeah, Syntycha bullies Asenath as much as she doesn't bother me, but of course I'm not. There's a lot of times that I'm not in the castle or the court, but I do know that she does spend her time torturing Asenath. So
does Asenath? Is she ready for? I'm not certain of how you do this, but some sort of apprenticeship, or is it possible you get her into the Rangers and move her about?
She has already expressed a desire to follow me into the woods, and she is quite good with a bow. So I think that is probably the path that she is planning on taking. So right now it's just it's kind of hard to being that she is the youngest. My mother doesn't want to have her part too often from the castle, which is something I've been trying to convince her to kind of change.
I think that's your sister.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is totally the influence of your sister.
Probably.
We need to get her out, and I don't know, maybe Grandma might want to take her for a little trip.
It might not be a bad idea. So, do you wish to go to the life tree?
Well, I'm not the only person here. Everyone else may have any questions, any thoughts.
Yes. Anything else that I can hopefully shed some light on while we sit here and drink our brews?
I can come up with questions all day.
Tomas is kind of starting to bridge his questions and lyrics that's being posted in the chat. But he's just fucking away. He hasn't come up with a full song yet.
Okay.
And by the way, he's just mumbling, so nobody hears all the lyrics. But for everybody's enjoyment, I'm putting them there.
Okay.
That's serious lyrics, man. That's some serious shit, yo.
So where did you post these?
The Princess of Celene chat.
Okay. I probably am not going to be able to get a chance to look at it until after the stream, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. You'll love it. By then, I might have the whole song done.
That's right. You might. Does anyone?
20.
Yeah. Does anyone else have any questions? I know this is a lot.
Since the Queen is not sending us to the, can't remember what destination was.
Amarillo.
Yes. Amarillo. Where do you think she is planning to send us?
I have this feeling that she wants you to bring, as she calls it, the imposter princess to her.
No fucking chance.
Nope. Nichts nein, der Bahnhof.
We may leave and pretend to do so, but there's no real chance that we would bring her.
It would be up to Melda to return on her own if she wished to, but we won't bring her back.
Well, as
far as the yeomanry goes, that would be straight up, obviously kidnapping. I have to look at that from my standpoint too.
It's not kidnapping. We'll give her the message, and she's an intelligent young lady. Walking into the trap, not so smart.
Mm.
And if she should decide to do so, well, we'll see you later, Kellix.
It's good knowing you.
So,
what we would, but
yeah, he is like, well, I mean, it would not be a completely bad thing if there was some way that we could prove that Melda is truly who she claims to be. Well, even if she doesn't even claim to be it, I mean, from what it seems like, she may not even know her own heritage. What does she just think she is? Just some Vespi forest elf? How silly. He just chuckles at that. He says, and besides, I have no idea what even this elven woman looks like. With the best approximation, does she even have a family resemblance?
Does she?
Yeah. When he was describing the Queen, he says she looks familiar. So there was obviously a family resemblance. Oh,
She
what
looks
did you do?
nothing like.
So he says, well, then, if there is a chance, of course, there's much more information that I could probably try to find for you. We do have libraries here, but most likely talking with Shira would probably be much more helpful I mean, I hope I've been able to provide a little bit more insight into what is occurring here at court. But I believe Shira would probably have more information. Of course, she has many more years on me, so and Grandma's quite wise. So
Yeah, I think the talk with you really has defined a load of shit we're in.
Don't hold back.
Yeah.
That's how you live with it.
No offense, but
So
he's not expecting this.
he raises his mug once again and says, "To the shit that we're all in." And he says, "I'll keep my ears open, and I'll have my men and women on the ground keeping their eyes and ears open as well. If I hear anything, I'll make sure you get that information."
Thank you, Val.
So
Now the real question
Hope
is,
you don't mind if I speak to you so familiarly, but I think we've made a friendship. Thank you.
I believe so as well. I'm hoping that my mother will change her mind soon about giving aid to Bissell, and once she does, I know that I will be probably put in charge of the military that will be sent there. And I hope that if that is the case, I shall see you once again.
Yeah, there's much more ale to be drank.
Of course. And it just gives you
like a
all...
nondescript sex toy box.
Yeah. So, does anyone else have any other questions? He says, well, it looks as though I am going to head on back and see exactly... Oh, did you want to go see Shira first, though?
I do think we should, but does anyone else have anything more pressing?
I was thinking about washing my hair, but
Yeah.
I just thought you'd get a nondescript sex toy box. Shut up.
Lord
Well, I
have
think
mercy.
there's quite a few chamber pots we might find along the way.
Of course. And so he stands and he throws some silver on the table to cover the drinks and he says, well, my friends, it looks as though we're off to the great tree.
Your grandma.
Up to
Yes.
see the druid, the biggest druid of all.
Oh, yes.
For here she is, the druid of the druids. If ever a druid there was. If ever a druid there was. The druid of Celene is one because of all the elven things she does.
Okay. So you all once again leave the Broken Bow Tavern, making your way back into the walled section of the castle, and you approach this. It looks to be like a small dock, and on this dock is a boat. Kind of like a rowboat, but there's no oars, and it seems as though that is just connected with like rope that just kind of ferries you across back and across. There's a boat on one side and a boat on the other side of the island that the tree actually sets. Yes.
On our way back, and I know he's got two guards that were outside.
Yes.
I'm just going to kind of keep a heads up and see if we pick up any tales, anything that anyone who stands out of sorts. I don't trust the queen and the sister to not be paying attention to this.
Right.
So you're trying to see if we're being tailed?
Mm-hmm.
Make a perception check.
Make a good perception check.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
You do have a feeling that there is at least one person who may be keeping a close eye on you and your group.
Indeed, Kiffy.
I do enjoy the dwarven way of being able to settle disputes. That is good, Kiffy. Very nice.
Well, I'll quietly say under my breath, does anyone else get that feeling like we're being watched or tailed?
You mean that guy over there?
Possibly.
And
All right.
yeah, you do have a feeling that just an unsettling feeling that there are definitely eyes upon you, but of course that could also be because Val is with you, being, a prince, and every once in a while, yeah. So
Quickly learn how to separate those two.
yeah, so you make your way to this boat, and you pile into it, and as the last person gets, you see Val just sort of raise his hand like so, and you see a set of druids on the other side start to pull the rope. And as it does so, it just starts making its way over. It's a very quick trip. I mean, the water itself looks as though you might be able to ford it, but you also kind of get this weird feeling that it may be deeper than it looks. But from just casual observation, it looks like you could probably walk across it, but you don't want to chance that. It's a little misleading. But when you finally make it to the other side, you're just completely taken aback by how absolutely massive this tree is and how much of a shadow that it casts upon the ground below you. So much so that there is not really any grass because the light has been so blocked out, and it is just it looks as though pathways have been sort of designed in the roots so that you can walk through it, and it's just a gigantic root carpet. But you can definitely tell where to walk and where not to walk. It's quite magical, and it's and every so often you will see that a group of druids will cut some greenery from the tree and place it in a sack. But amongst all of them, you see Shira, who is talking with a few of the druids in Elvish. And I don't remember how many of you all speak Elvish, but I think some of you do.
Grenna.
Oh, Grenna speaks. Okay, so Grenna speaks, and I think Timble speaks. Yeah, so the gnomes speak.
Only gnomes.
Okay. So as you approach, you can see that, Timble, you can hear that she is instructing them to take the leaves that are in these sacks and to crush them. And she says, bring the extract to her once that there's an oil that is created by these leaves. And it serves two purposes. And actually, if, let me see here, if Tomas will make a history check. Let's see if he knows a little bit about this. May or may not.
Tomas doesn't speak Elvish.
Oh, that's true. Sorry. No Elvish. But you may have heard of the process.
Okay.
A little bit of the history of the tree itself.
So it's a history check?
It's a history check.
Got it.
Nope, you know nothing.
Not today.
Not today, child.
Actually, if you would have watched it roll, I almost knew everything from the beginning of time. Let's just put it that way.
It was almost a natural 20.
I saw the crit roll slide.
And then just
the end. I was like, oh.
How cruel fate.
Yeah.
Damn. So,
Val, do you know what they're doing?
he says, yes, I've actually seen this happen a couple of different times. the sap that, well, it's not really a sap. It's, I guess, the juices that come from the leaves itself can be not diluted, more processed. Now, if you just take the raw juices from the leaf itself, it is a very, very dangerous and potent poison, which is prized amongst assassins, but it is so very hard to get a hold of because we control it. And the druids don't particularly like to have the life tree used in that way, shape, or form. Now, if the juices are processed and magic is applied to them, they make the best superior healing potions. And that is primarily one of the ways that Celene, that's how we keep our coffers full of gold, is through the process of this life tree salve that we produce.
How well does it hold a pigment?
Uh,
Do we know how?
It doesn't really hold a pigment. Well, when you see it, I'm sure that they have the poison does not have a color. It's not even cloudy. It's clear. The only time that it takes on that potion-like hue is once the magic is imbued into it. But yeah, so he as you all approach, you see that Shira waves her druid students off, and she turns and looks at each of you, and Kellic, she looks over at you and she says, "I am so sorry that I put you into that predicament. I was just kind of hoping you were just going to say that she was here." And you could see that she's kind of choked up about it. And she's like...
Is there some place that we might speak
Of course.
quietly?
Of course. So she walks over to the tree itself, places her hands on the tree, and as she does so, she speaks the incantation, and the trunk of the tree splits. And as it does so, it opens up, and she says, "After you."
Go in.
I think I know you, and walk through.
Okay. So as you walk through this thing, you immediately appear in a glade. And in the middle of this glade is a large pine tree that you just pop out of. And so now you are standing in this gigantic glade. There are no other trees but the one that you just walked out of. And Shira and Val are close behind you. And so now you're standing in this just wide open expanse. There's no one else around. You're not really too sure where you're at. Because Shira didn't really tell you where you were going. But she looks and she, you see her just, says, looks at you all and says, "I think this is probably as remote as we could possibly get." And, but then she turns very quickly to you, Tomas, and she says, "I did not get a chance to talk with you when I was in Marydale. I know I talked with you, Major Calix, but I don't remember talking to you." And she reaches out her hand, and as she does so, I need to know how you react to this. Are you going to allow her to touch your face?
Stand by.
Okay. So she stops right before she gets to it, and she says, "Your scar. You received this how?"
In trials combat in my youth. And by the way, I was trying to do an insight and see if this was
okay.
some type of like attack or something like that, and I failed.
Yeah. Yeah, you're actually kind of taken. You're kind of shocked by it, but she does not actually lay her hands on you. It's just as though she's like reached, and she is just within, just mere inches when she asks that question.
By the way, it was my best Donald Trump impression.
Jeez.
Big work.
Yeah, she says, she says, it is so sad that one of such talent would have such a disfigurement. Would you permit me to lay my hands upon you and fix this blemish?
He's also got a cracked out his backside that needs some work.
Yeah, but that's only because you don't. It's a little crooked for you.
Lord.
Actually, hold on a second.
She continues to, if it's a matter of pride that you wear this scar, I understand, and I will not.
The fucking shit.
You've rolled 100. So
Tomas draws his sword slowly
okay.
and says, "Milady, I call this the yeoman's resolve, and it'll forever be yours if you can cure me of this ailment that has cursed me my life."
She says that is not necessary, and she immediately places her hand out and actually lays it on the scar, and you can feel the heat just pulsing through her hand. And at first it's a little bit. It's kind of shocking, and you're like going, "Oh my gosh!" It almost feels exactly the way it felt the day that you received it. And then she slowly just brings her hand down, and
As she first puts it up there, I kind of whisper out of the side of my mouth, "Can you make me look more like Ben Affleck from Matt Damon?"
So she does this, and once her hand comes away from your face, you see that the heat dissipates, and everyone is standing around behind her, looking around her, looking at you, and they're like, they got their hands over there, and you can see she has this smile on her face. And
Yes, I do look like Ben Affleck. Awesome.
Yeah, so I guess. So what this has done is it has completely healed that over. There is actually no scar whatsoever, and you will receive 2 points to your charisma score.
I'm actually a positive roll now. My singing just got better.
After all that, you're still ugly as hell.
They changed some stuff on how to edit
So,
the character. Okay.
She says, well, now that we've gotten that out of the way, she looks over at Val and says, I guess I owe you an explanation of how I know these people. And he says, I believe they've filled me in on some of the things that have been going on, grandmother. And she turns back to you all and says, so what do you need to know from me?
Alex, you have any questions?
Sorry, I was eating. Well, I guess I had slipped and provided some information that caused such an issue at the palace. Is Melda aware of her possible lineage?
I don't believe so. The only thing that I asked her to do was to come to Celene. I did not tell her of her actual true origins.
If you knew, I mean, obviously she might be in some kind of danger. Why would you want to bring her here?
I don't believe I'm hoping that she is not in any danger, but that is why I'm kind of hoping that you, Major Kellix, will be the one to deliver her to me.
When did you get promoted?
Same time Grinna got promoted.
Yeah, Grinna got promoted at the same time.
Oh, okay. I have no idea.
No, what comes up?
You're stuck in the army.
It's all babble. I didn't want to be there to begin with. Here I am. Anyway.
I will ask Melda if this, if she would like to come here. I mean, I think I should be truthful or tell her the reason why we are bringing here, or she, why she should come here. But in the end, it should be her choice. Do you not think?
She says, I was kind of hoping that she would have came with you this trip, and now that
unfortunately we
had some communication issue, and we ended up in different places.
back.
yeah. So she continues and says, well, no, I don't believe Melda knows of her true lineage. I do know, though, that her father, Kalishan, has passed away. But her mother, or not her, we'll say her foster mother, Amthavara, is still alive. And she actually is a courtesan in the Vesvi court. So my next trip would be there to see if I can convince her to return to Celene. That might be... yes.
If I may, is there a reason that you would want her to come here in ignorance of her lineage?
Well, eventually she has to know of her lineage, because I feel that it would only be right, and especially for the future of Celene, that she will take the throne instead of her sister.
What happened with Syntycha?
This is a very, very good question. I wish I knew. When she fell ill that day, she became a completely different person.
Do you know what caused the illness?
For some unknown reason, it was there was an elderly woman, a crone actually, that had been selling fruit and wares and things in the market, and Syntycha and her friend were in the market that day, and Syntycha was given some sort of I guess it was some sort of food that was offered by this crone, and once she partook of it, she fell into this catatonic, almost, it was a coma-like state. And we tried to locate the crone, but she was nowhere to be seen.
Obviously, you have some great healing powers. You were not able to. Obviously, but
It was magical, not natural.
Right. Actually, I almost kind of feel that it was probably more necromantic than anything. The magic was dark, evil, that struck her. And so now we are just trying to figure out exactly how ambitious and how dangerous Syntycha will become.
how long ago was this?
Oh, we're looking at probably 150 years ago.
Not Toby.
No,
No.
Toby's not dressing up in a crone's outfit.
So,
Oh, he would. But not at that time.
Yeah, this is tantamount to assassination of the Crown Prince of Celene. Who might want such a thing?
She says, "I'm sorry. What your question again?"
Why? This is really tantamount to an assassination. Who would want that?
Well, no, we certainly
Come on,
wouldn't.
girl.
We certainly do not want Syntycha to be assassinated. Lord, that would be horrible. And
Oh, it's been done.
oh no, I'm
The girl that Syntycha was no longer exists. It has been done. A coup is set, and people are kind of dancing around it. Have you fortified your position here? I know you have these hopes of, Melda walking in and, the stars twinkling in the sky and, butterflies erupt out of the forest, that everything's good, but that's not going to happen. If Melda comes here, it will be either her death or war. A civil war. Best not to lay the future of your grandchildren, Val and Asenath, to hopes and dreams. Do you have a plan to evacuate them, to get them out? I know Val is the head of the Rangers, but he has a side. But how many of the Rangers have their own designs?
Well, I know that the Rangers are beholden to Val. He is their commander, and he has great faith in them. I'm not worried about the Rangers. There are others within the ranks that I do question. Some have been enticed by Syntycha and her abilities to be able to work certain sorceress.
Has she done something through her mother?
I don't believe so. I believe that Yolanda herself has fallen for the stories, the ones that Celene had killed her firstborn and her love, and there has never been any proof to show her otherwise. That is why I'm reaching out to Amthavara, because at one point in time, Amthavara was one of Yolanda's handmaids.
And you're certain that Melda is the Melda?
I am quite sure.
So you kind of, when you mentioned dreams, Calix did kind of like look over to you a bit, and he looks back at the Shira, and asks, or Shira, sorry, if Melda decides not to return, what state do you think Celene would be in once her sister, I guess, takes over?
Once Syntycha takes the throne, life, I believe, in Celene is going to get very, very difficult. I believe that she is planning on driving the druids from the tree. Without the tree being tended, the tree will find it hard to continue. Once the tree dies, the country dies. Once the country dies, then it's the dark tendrils which have choked the tree will start to creep into other lands.
Then I'm not speaking for my friends here, but
There you are.
I'll do what I can to convince Melda to come here. Obviously, you know, she has a duty.
Yes, she actually does.
Really? She has a duty. To what? To whom?
To her people.
Her people? She doesn't know that. Even with that, there's no proof of it.
I will not force her to come, but I will give her. I will
think it
try to
would
do
be
my best to convince her.
Terrible.
And then if she chooses not to come, then I will abide by her wishes. But you know, you've heard what Shira is saying. You know, this is, you know, we all do things that are sometimes bigger than us.
And by the way, who are we to understand the whims of people that live thousands of years? You know, it's her people. We don't understand and comprehend in that scale.
Okay, would you be able to privately bring Yolanda to her? I mean, you popped us out into the middle of nowhere in a matter of seconds.
A neutral location?
Getting the queen here might be a little bit more difficult than you would expect.
I know, but you're a mother, and you should have at least a little say for her to trust you.
You saw exactly how things fell apart in the at the castle today. So
the faces we have in court are not the faces we have at home.
Well,
behind the walls.
I can try. But I'm not really too sure exactly what you're trying to convince Yolanda of. She has it. She believes what has been told to her, and Syntycha has not made her believe any different. But I don't. Even Syntycha doesn't know of the extent of how far I have been and what I have done to try to undermine her ascension.
Here to be at the whims of the queen and the would-be queen.
I'm not sure how else to go.
We need to start cracking that power base. We need to find a way to divide them. If you want this nation to be whole, you can do the coup from within. You've got to do what someone has done to you.
Well, I believed that having Melda here and proving to Yolanda that she is truly her firstborn will be that crack that will occur.
I'm just worried that it would be a death sentence for Melda to come here.
Timble. Can we recognize that I have been can we realize that I've been recognized as an ambassador? So maybe I could grant her free passage, least they break the pact, any pacts with the yeomanry at that point. And we can bury it under there in political intrigue. They've recognized me as an ambassador. We established that in the last game. I'm an ambassador.
I don't know. Syntycha, I just don't think she gives a damn.
Oh yeah, we
are not
be wary of her. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, we are not pointy-eared elves, so I don't think she likes us. This stinks and reminds me too much, or maybe I'm just being.
I disagree because first of all, I don't think it's Syntycha. That's the whole different side story. I didn't say that.
Oh, it's behind her. I keep thinking of the drow.
I do too. Because
that's where I'm stuck too. That's what I'm thinking.
But if we can finagle the whole ambassadorship with my new Ben Affleck good looks. By the way, Brian, in the chat on your channel is my new token. Since I've got good looks now, I got my new BTG token for you.
Okay. I'll change that as soon as I can. Thanks. Oh Lord. Is it good? Is it going to be a miniature with Ben Affleck's face on it?
No, it's Ben Affleck from the Revenant, where he did that medieval movie with Matt Damon.
Okay, that's great.
But that being said, I think maybe we can offer protection. I could deputize all of you as ambassador from the yeomanry, and therefore we can provide a protection if it goes south.
Well, I think we can guess all we want. We need to find out what Melva thinks. But I know that if it were I would not come here at all. I mean, that's why we meet, nations meet in neutral territory. That's why there are diplomats that can bring people together to talk and come to some resolution without there being more bloodshed.
And that's why I'm proposing the shield of the yeomanry. I don't want to turn it into an Eichmann situation where Mossad goes and snatches him out of Argentina or wherever.
Trying to snatch anyone. I'm just not willing to walk hand in hand with her into a death trap.
Well, I look good now. I'll walk into a death trap for anybody. And it'd be for the good of Celene.
I start digging in my pack. Where did I put that trap? Man catcher. No, everything that I have ever been taught makes me worried. I think
agree.
that there are, we and as you say, when you are that long lived, the machinations, the thought process, the political intrigue, it's at levels that we may not comprehend.
So out of that, though,
as forthcoming as our elven friends have been here, Val has been kept ignorant of far too much, especially given his position. I don't think anyone truly sees the extent of the threat.
So the question
thinks we're all going to come in and talk and work it out. I think it's going to be worked out with knives, swords, arrows,
probably a
and
little bit of
spells.
intrigue. But out of that, if they can give us, if we go to it, present the case, and then if they can provide us an expedient mode to bring her here, we can take this over really quick. Correct? If she says no, then we don't do it.
No. I'll just turn to Val and say, truly, solidify your base.
Understand.
Be prepared.
Yes. Well, like I said, we will definitely try to find as much information as possible out from either with Syntycha or something of that nature. Yes, we shall definitely do so. You see him just nod to his grandmother, and she returns. Says,
I think we should probably be going, because we're certainly tailed here. And I think you should probably get back before they think too much of us talking silently.
Of course.
He certainly needs to get back.
Yeah. So Shira turns, once again, reaches out and touches the tree. Yes.
Actually, I do have a question real quick, and this is totally out of character.
Okay.
And we are now just only now finding out that Shira is kind of like this arch druid.
Oh yeah,
right?
she is.
We didn't know that. We didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
In my notes, I just called her Auntie, because I thought it was Melda's aunt.
Thought it was her aunt. Yeah, no, it's not. So, okay.
I'll let another character take this, but yeah, I'm hoping that somebody realize we have other issues that plague us,
Yes, I
and
know.
maybe somebody ought to ask.
For the record, I don't. I look like Ben Affleck now. I'm good.
As you guys pointed out, time in the fairy world is arbitrary. We have to take care of this now before we end up in arbitrary land. So.
Well, so many damn balls we're juggling.
Do you need 2 more?
No.
Only you forget a girl.
I was thinking of bodice.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, Kellex. Thanks.
So,
That was all
so here we are as a group.
Alex wasn't thinking about that. He's thinking about what's going on right now.
So as a group in private, I guess, is the conversations. Where are we going to go with this? Are we going to go which way? I mean, Glenn, what's your vote?
Well, first off, clearly we're going to ask Grandma to give us a lift via, I don't know, Hawthorne, maybe an alder to
Free mail.
closer to Melda so that we can speak to her. But I would hope, as you kind of baited, that perhaps we could have some way of getting back expeditiously. I just, that's with Val leaving, I was going to delve into how much is Grandma willing to help us. Because we really do have her and her family's best interests at heart. Because that keeps my little ass out of the fire. So that's where I'm pouring everything into. I don't want to get into a fight with a whole nother court and nation. Just don't need it.
Yeah, having one court mad at us, we don't need another one.
Yeah, and given the pointy years between them, not like they couldn't like get together and really fuck with us.
True.
Elves, pretty tight.
Gee,
Yeah.
what do you think? You're my level of reason here.
Oh, well, for
We should
my
have shotgun
perspective,
solution.
He wants to get back to the Smith.
well, I really could not give a single fuck about any elf, but since we are in this position, my thought on this whole relationship here is that if Melda is the member of the royal family, then she is kind of, for lack of a better way to say it, kind of property of the nation of Celene. So she has a duty, whether she wants to or not, to come back. I obviously would be compelling her, but that's my opinion.
How many lawful people here?
I'm sorry.
I mean, gosh, I'm just wondering how many lawful people are here. As everybody keeps bringing up that dirty word duty.
You said duty.
Well, we're all from kingdoms in various medieval societies. I think we all recognize various levels of duty to kingdom, fiefdom, serfdom.
Does Timble not have a duty to Ileana?
No, I love her.
All right. So, I propose that we go to Melda. We get a mode of expeditious retreat. We can at least present the thing. Say, hey, this is the deal. They want to talk to you in court. That's all they want, as far as we know.
I'm not going to get any. You're not bringing her via subterfuge. She needs to know what she's
Oh
walking
yeah, yeah. Killix will be totally on.
Even for your stinky ass.
I totally get that. You guys can pitch. You can say what you need. I'm just trying to move forward. Say I get it, but that being said, let's get her here. Figure out what's going on. Personally, I've been penning, missives to. I forgot her name here now because Osnoth over here is saying that she should be the true princess of Celene, or soon to be queen of Celene. So,
Taking up my buddy Val, I like him. He pays for the ale.
well, but we get her back here.
It's
Let
an
her
old
go for
97.
it. For her day.
Old
But I think that
97.
opens up. I think that
barrels
opens
of
up.
ale.
Yeah,
What's Russ think?
Russ wants to kill shit.
Southerners. That's what he's thinking. Southerners.
Somebody start a fight.
I'd second that emotion.
Me too. I want to see my new Ben Affleck token.
I guess one question I have, I guess maybe back in character, if let's just say Melda doesn't return. I mean, we did come here as ambassadors for Bissell to try to convince Celene to join the fight once again. Would that change if, sorry, I don't forget the sister's name, if she takes over, or is she the reason why this probably more likely Celene pulled from the conflict?
You're kind of believing that, like I said, Syntycha is Yolanda's closest advisor. And most likely, Syntycha was the one who kind of fueled the spat between Zan of the Vespi and Yolanda. So yeah, you can see that there's obviously some meddling going on.
Right, so Timble, I mean, there's other reasons that Melda should, not just for the Celene itself, but also to get back in the fight with Bissell.
Is Shira back from sending Val on his way? Or did she walk out and leave it?
They haven't done anything yet because you had questions. So I mean, they're ready to head back to. So where did you all want to go to?
We have to go back to speak to Yolanda, so we have to be prepared and ready to go in.
Okay.
Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed to hear this new proclamation of what we have to do, which we believe is go fetch Mel. And,
Right. Okay.
Okay.
So
is that a good idea to tell Yolanda what we're doing, planning? I mean, obviously you've seen how she reacted to the mention of it.
I'll let her say what she's got to say. If she tells us to go fetch, a rare flower that's growing off the toe of some giant.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were talking about. Gotcha.
But if she says,
talking about us telling Melda we're going to go get Melda.
But we'll see. My question is to Shira. Now, if we go to Melda and tell her this grand story that, hey, you're a princess. There's a whole nation that you should be queen of. We need to give her some proof. Is there something you can give us that would make her believe? Because you're certain.
Yeah, she just smiles at you and she says, I think I have something that would maybe be more advantageous to this. And she, you see her just reach out with her hand into just open space, and she opens up an interdimensional pocket. And as she does so, she reaches in and grabs, it looks to be a locket. And she says, show this to Melda. I believe that this hopefully will be able to convince her, if she has any apprehension of coming here. Show this to her, and I think this will seal the deal, so to speak. And she drops
May I see it?
Of course, you can.
I'll pop it open to see.
Okay.
What do we see?
So what you see is it looks to be some sort of engraving on metal. And it looks as though it is a young elven girl, probably in her 50s, next to a woman you do not recognize at all. There's no family resemblance. And then standing behind them, it looks to be a young Shira. And, yeah.
It's not like one of those stupid Harry Potter things where everybody's waving in the background, is it?
No, it's not. Yeah, we don't have that here. I don't want to get called up by J.K. Rowling. Said, hey, you're stealing my shit. I don't need that.
Actually, for the record, that's how I got banned, was defending J.K. Rowling against.
Is that how you got banned? Nice.
Yeah, well.
Hey,
Felix kind of holds out his hand to Timble. May I, Timble?
And while they're examining the locket,
I didn't hear you.
while they're examining the locket, and milady, if we were to convince her and need to make a hasty return here, can you provide a method of said transportation?
unfortunately, I cannot. I wish I could.
Make sure Yolanda's safe while we're gone.
I will try to do just that. And so, is there any other questions? I do have to get back to the tree.
Actually, good question. Might be out of character, but is the reason you cannot provide it is because you don't have the means, or is because you got me thinking Harry Potter and thinking of Hogwarts, the history. You can't teleport into Hogwarts. Is that a restriction here upon Celene?
No, that is not. Most likely, though, I mean, I have not been to every tree on the planet. I can't just jump to every, I'm not. I have gotten close before to certain places, but there are times where I had to actually travel or fly in my wild shape ability. So
We've got a woodland here. Could you teach her how to travel by tree?
And I do not detect a druid amongst you.
She's not a druid. She's a ranger, but she is developing talents.
She would have to definitely come under my tutelage for a certain time.
That's you, dear.
I get that. Yeah, free with other people's lives, aren't you?
Aren't we all?
It's like you've been voluntold.
No, I'm giving her an option. It's up to her. I'll abide by anything. I'm just trying to save us some, boots. They wear out so quickly on the road.
I actually don't, off character, I actually don't have the stats to do druidism. Unless we bump some of them up. It wouldn't be averse.
Ah, hell. A lot of people bluff their way into Yale and Harvard. Why not? Lie about it.
Fake it till you make it, right?
You may not allow that.
Yeah.
Oy, okay, I guess it's a lot of walk in front of us. Would you happen to know perhaps someone who would be favorable to... Actually, who's that old, ancient, just...
The old guy that we interrupted in the woods where you scared off all his little animals. What about him?
No, I'm thinking of the gnarled old wizard there in court.
You are
Like he help?
Yeah, you are thinking of Aldor. Aldor Moore's Ivy. He might be able to help you. So she says that depending on where you're going, I might be able to get you close, but I don't know where you are going.
Well, you've been there.
Oh, if you're talking about that quaint little inn in that quaint little farming village,
Marydale.
yeah.
And the
Oh, the old
Garden-
97.
That's
That's
like-
a great place.
Well,
And you know what? In fact, when you show up there, 10% discount.
she smiles and she says, "That's lovely, thank you." So
Melda is not in Marydale anymore. I had actually not long ago, I guess, messaged her, and she was in a locale north of Bissell, or south of Bissell, and I can't remember what it was, Brian. I do apologize.
I believe, I believe the village or the town you're talking about is Hook Hill,
Hook
which
Hill, that was
is
it,
yeah. And we
That's
can
near the swamp.
break up.
I'm not so concerned about getting there. I'm more concerned about getting back. We can find somebody and convince them, but dragging them all the way back across Orth would be kind of a that in its own right.
But what
Well,
about
obviously,
the guy that
you
we
understand what
ran
I'm saying. We got to escort her across, and then it's Operation Human Shield, and for some reason I've got a suntan.
And? You're right. It's a human shield.
Yeah, I don't like that idea.
That's okay.
Because you're a gnome.
We'll use the gnomes as clackers.
Just prepare of the scar. Get a few more. She can like them.
Oh, like I don't have something that could bite.
You have a very flammable warg.
Yes, but he'll take your balls with him.
All right, so I can get there, and then I guess we're gonna traverse back. I got it.
Well, why can't
Hey, Brian, can you bring the
are
map
there
up?
other routes I could go through the trees other than this one?
Let's see. Which map are you looking for? The one where
What I think is
Yeah.
that we can go through the trees, but she has to. If she doesn't go through us, we can't get back. That's my bet.
There's one that says map 2, but it's not coming up.
Okay, let me just
Talking about
make
Hook Hill?
Yeah,
Oh, do we have
I'll tell you
maps?
what. I'll bring up the online map.
yeah, Hook Hill.
Are you where Hook Hill is in comparison to everything?
Okay, Hook Hill is in Grand March, which is directly south of Bissell. It's
It's far from Pelic. Doesn't look far.
yeah.
Helic, that's what. Sorry.
But it has been some days since you had talked with her. So you're not really too sure exactly if she is still in Hook Hill.
We could always find someone else to do send another, ascending message, and I can.
Well, actually,
find
we don't
out.
need an ascending message. Do we have any intel from how the war is going? Maybe that's a great. Is it pushing one way or another? Or we can just go to the battlefront.
You're not really too sure. Like I said,
I was figuring here in Celene, somebody might be able to tip us off.
So, what I was saying is, does she, the druid queen, grandmother person,
Yeah.
have an underling who can do the tree trick that we can take with us that can get us back?
she says, unfortunately, I don't have anyone who has mastered that far. I do know of other druids, but they're in far-flung forests around in the Flanness. It would. Mhm.
What about the old guy that we interrupted his thing? What was his name?
Oh, yes. She says,
Starts with a V.
yes, I know who I know who it is that you speak. He might know. I'm not really too sure. I just know that he is one that we call a veil walker, and those are ones who specifically walk between the mortal realm and the Feywild. So I am not really too sure.
I got an idea.
What's that?
Flying. Can we get some type of flying mount?
Said possibly.
Big gold dragon. We could all climb on its back. Ancient.
Yeah, good luck
I
with
don't want
that.
to see a dragon. Thank you very much.
So she says,
Could be Elgon.
I know that here in Celene we do have the ability to harness certain flying creatures. We do have griffins that we use from time to time, but I don't believe that we have enough of them to be able to transfer or ferry your entire group.
Well, some of them are small. They can double up.
And the ones that are
Guys, I have a teleport scroll.
I just figured in all Celene we're good, but all right, that one didn't work. All right, somebody else's idea to get us there.
Did you hear what I said?
No, what'd you say?
I have a
did.
teleport scroll.
Still didn't get it. Somebody talk.
There's a teleport.
Teleport.
I don't know. If
He had one.
I have one.
Oh, that gets us there or gets us back. And for the record, when I asked, Steph was going crazy over the score upstairs. So I'm literally hearing the house shake. Mike, it's very similar to me watching a Notre Dame game.
All right.
Although she hasn't called anybody a donkey raping shit eater yet.
Let us know what she does.
Yeah, we
That's
might want to know. Okay.
Clapping means good because it sounds like they're winning or they're at least close. Anyway, so you have one teleport, right, Russ? Teleport spell or is it teleport circle? I can't remember. I think they changed teleport quite a bit in 5.
It'll get us all there. It'll
They
get us
don't
all.
get us all there.
It'll get it one way.
One way.
So we get the court hand waiver to send us, and then we use the scroll to get back. We just need to actually put a pin in it and find out if that's actually what they want us to do.
Absolutely. Do it.
Agreed.
I'm going to change my token real quick to Patrick Stewart so I can say, make it so.
You are so freaking weird.
Don't ruin Patrick Stewart for me, please.
That's my sole goal now in life is to ruin Patrick Stewart.
Wait, please don't. I
Be
like
sure the card series ruined Patrick Stewart, so don't worry about it.
I have a thing for older balding men.
Wow. Okay.
All the people that I'm playing with.
Another question.
I was like going,
Do you have a set of Star Trek uniform?
oh boy.
You're not saying no.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. So
So I guess the plan is that we're going to have Shira, deliver us, and then we're going to use the scroll to get back.
Okay. So where are you
Is that
going?
right?
But we
Well,
can't leave
first
yet.
we're going to go
because
hear
we're
Yolanda.
about to leave the city. And if we leave the city, that would go bad for us when we come back.
Now, if we bring back Nelda,
Yes, because mentioning her name went over so well. Let's just
Yeah,
bring her back.
I think bringing her back anyway is going to be.
Well, we need to go
No,
and
but let's not borrow any more trouble than we already seem to find.
we need to go see Queen Yolanda and see what she wants.
Exactly.
Trouble equals experience points.
And she might even be able to send us, at least on this side, the Melda side, Grand Marsh Bissell side of the mountains, in some way, shape, or form.
If that's where she wants to send us.
Well, if she wants us to find Melda,
All right.
she can pony up and send us.
All right, let's go see the queen.
Okay. So Shira turns back to the large pine. Once again, places her hand on the bark, and it splits open with a bright light. And she says, "Quickly now." And Val steps through, and I guess everybody else follows suit. Okay.
yes.
Heck yeah.
All right.
Stay here.
Yeah, you ain't staying here. Yeah. Okay, and so now you find yourselves. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
I follow suit.
Oh.
Find ourselves really late for our appointment with the Queen.
Okay, so you all are now standing once again on the little island, well, the large island, with the gigantic tree. It seems as though the druids that are around don't even really pay you much mind as you once again step out of the base of this tree. And Shira says, "Well, good luck when you talk with the Queen. If you get any other information, let me know, and I will try to make sure that you get as close to your target destination once you return. Good luck." And Val also bows to his grandmother and says, "Grandmother, once again, it's been a pleasure." And he leads you all back through the route, the paths of roots to the dock, and just within just a couple of minutes, you're now back on the shore and making your way back into the castle. As you are making your way back through the into the courtyard of the castle, you hear the familiar twang of a bow being released, and arrow flying through the air and striking a target. You see the young Princess Asenath is working with you, kind of gather a master archer who is teaching her some. So she just quickly looks over at you, smiles, waves at her brother, and then just goes back to it. So as you can see that she's obviously, and you can see that she's hitting the target quite well. But it looks as though he is trying to teach her how to walk and shoot at the same time. So there's a little bit more activity than just standing there. It's like, and eventually, as Val looks over and says, "She's picking this up pretty quickly. Eventually, she's going to be able to do it from horseback. That will be impressive." And he leads you back into the castle. Once inside, the guards are waiting by the door, and he says, "I'll be right back. I'll go in and see if the Queen is ready for you." And he disappears, leaving you to in that little foyer area as you wait. And a few moments pass before the guards open the door, and Val is on the other side. And he motions you through. You come back in, and this time you see that Yolanda is sitting on the throne. Syntycha is standing behind her off to the left. And the fire that was there before behind Syntycha's eyes has softened. Yolanda looks like she is once again sort of she doesn't look happy. We'll just say that. And so you all approach the dais, and Val stops and bows before the Queen and says, Your Majesty, the emissaries from Bissell that you have requested. And he walks up the dais and stands at the right-hand side of the... yes.
Sorry, emissaries from Bissell and ambassador from the yeomanry.
Oh, yes, of course. He says, I stand corrected, said my queen, and also the emissary from the yeomanry. She looks over at you and said, So, I've given it much thought, and I have decided to change my mind when it comes to sending you to my cousin. Amarillo will have to wait. I want to see this imposter princess that you or it has been brought to my attention that you may have been in the company of. And you immediately see that Syntycha it's like she's staring daggers at the Queen. And she doesn't say anything, though. And she just returns back to, her just stony gaze. You're kind of thinking that wasn't what she was expecting. That Yolanda was not doing what she was anticipating. So that's kind of weird.
I'm going to as we walk up, I would have walked up on the side of that she was on the left, so I'll be on our right or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to watch her closely. I don't trust Syntycha at all.
Okay.
And could you repeat that last part again about not what she seemed or what she didn't believe?
Yeah, what Syntycha was under, from what you could gather, she was probably under the assumption that Yolanda was going to say something completely different. She was not expecting her to actually send you to bring Melda to court.
I'm going to do an insight check real quick just to see.
Okay.
Yeah! Bogus! Yes! My 120 of the night.
Okay.
How do I feel? Is she to the point of hating? Kill?
Yeah,
this is like a Game of Thrones moment I'm trying to figure out.
you kind of have this feeling of malice is just washed over this situation. Yolanda doesn't pay Syntycha any mind, but as a matter of fact, she's not even looking at her. You see, Val is kind of looking around and gives a sidelong glance at Syntycha, but Syntycha doesn't pay him any attention. She once again refocuses her vision upon you as a group. So Yolanda says, so yes, that is what I wish. And if you were able to secure this elven
person.
Yes, this imposter princess, as I like to call her, I will make sure that the help that Bissell requires will be met.
And what?
Alex is going to open it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Albie.
And what assurances of her safety are there?
Thank you.
It says
Because as we stand here, Syntycha, the princess, really shooting daggers with her eyes, I feel that...
So Syntycha just immediately breaks and says, "How dare you? How dare you accuse me in my home?" And you see the queen just like, "Daughter, please."
I for myself, I don't know that I would care to bring anyone to a situation that is death to them. Even if it was Syntycha taken someplace, I wouldn't do that to her. I wouldn't do it to anyone.
I mean, the queen just says, "You've heard my demands. If you want the help that Bissell requires, then you will bring the elven woman who claims to be my daughter to me." She looks over to Val and says, "Show them out. I've grown tired of them." And she stands up and walks away. Syntycha stays, though, just staring daggers at each of you.
We made friends.
You've made friends. We're friends now.
I'm going to return those little visual daggers right back at her.
So Val walks down and says, it says, I think it's time. And and so he ushers you all back out into the foyer, and he closes the doors behind him, and he's with you. And he says, "Well, I kind of thought it was going to go that way. I was very brave of you to cross her like that, young Master Timble. If I was you, I would definitely watch your back."
Well, it's such a fun part.
I do that all the time.
Social skills, man. You
And
need
a
to
little
your
one.
skills.
And he says, "So, what's your next
worry,
move?"
Timble. Don't worry, Timble. I'm right in front of you.
Well, you realize if they miss him, they're gonna get you.
I have a higher dex.
He's very dexterous.
So I guess I can, as Master or Timble here, show his
You don't have a higher
concern
dex.
for Melda. Is there anything you could do to help ensure her safety if she comes back with us?
Well, I can talk with Shira, and we can definitely make sure to put magical protections upon her. I'll talk with Aldor and also see if there's any arcane, any jewelry that we could possibly place upon her, or maybe some wards or something that would be able to block any sort of physical attacks to her. I would think it would probably be best.
We could bring her to first.
I would say probably the safest place to bring her would be to Shira. Bring her to grandmother first, because Shira can hide her. You will have to. I would say probably the best way to do this, if you can get Melda here, you will need to get Yolanda without Syntycha. If Syntycha is there, I don't know what she is capable of. She is quite powerful, and I can only just guess what sort of powers that she wields.
What is her power?
She is a sorceress. She draws it.
Turned sorcery after her illness. She originally was going to become a paladin.
True.
Don't sorcerers make pacts?
No, that's warlocks.
Yeah, warlocks make pacts.
Sorcerers are lineage or something of that.
Yeah, innate ability. Yeah.
Sorcerers make lousy house pets.
True.
Sorcerers are harder to take out.
They're not.
But they're limited, but they're harder. They more focus on things that can do you damage.
If I focus and put that poison stone dagger in her back 3 or 4 times, I think I might actually be content with the outcome.
Or at least you'll mess up that spell. So we're all agreed there.
I guess
Wait a
we need
minute.
to.
I think that's a vote. I don't think anybody agreed to anything. What are you proposing we all agree to, Russ?
Is old Russian proverb. When you have problem with men, no man, no problem.
No problem. Fair enough. I just
So
want
I
to make
guess-
sure we're all in agreement. Because
Timble's
We got a backup character anyway. Y'all are,
Backup character.
I immediately had 2 feelings. First,
Being
turn around.
But do we know if the dark elves have the ability to take over a person like this?
No, but I don't know, but I would think that they would know dark powers that can.
yeah, one would assume that they could have some like illithid that which code could totally be in play here.
It'd be
You know.
totally an
Because
ugly old woman.
based on what Grandma said, what was her name? Sasha? No.
Sure.
Whatever.
Shira?
Yeah, based on what she said, the Drow have the most to gain from having the evil sister.
Well, I agree. I think the Drow want to have some type of foothold in the Elvish realm. They'll work behind. I view them as the true Red Wizards of Thay of Aura. To be honest, I sit there and look at them. So they're moving behind the scenes. We've crested the spear with them when we were in the mountains.
So, I don't know if we would know this, but would there be a way to save her and remove the evil influence, or would the evil influence be all encompassing?
Well, we could go up to her and say, "Are you in your happy place?" and try and do a Happy Gilmore thing and see if she makes the putt, or.
I'm feeling you'd probably get put through the wall if you asked for that.
I think that we don't know whether it's the Dark Elves. We've had just a close connection with them.
Yeah.
A few scars. Val did say that her powers seem to be more necromantic. Is it Ket? Is Ket stirring to deny assistance to Bissell? Is this something that they're not above long-term plans. Maybe they're not content with Bissell. They would like everything.
And there's no way to know if the whole episode with Toby was part of a long plan by this necromancer.
There is a way to know that because I made that all up, so it's not part of the long term.
It comes down to we just don't know who it is yet.
Okay.
We may never know.
There used to be a spell like True Sight or something like that we could see through illusions or disguise. Is there still? Does anybody know anything like that? That maybe we could see if somebody's a drow posing as. Does anybody remember a spell like that?
Yeah, it was True Sight, I think so, but I'm not sure if it's still a
Yeah,
spell.
I don't know.
I'm
not.
I hope not, because that could be troublesome for me.
So
What's that, Russ? Oh, sorry. Oh, I was.
Is it Timble actually a little demon?
But I like my disguises. And I come from a long lineage of...
Well, we promised to look only one way, not yours.
So Val says if there was possibly some way to be able to gain access to Syntycha's chambers, maybe there may be more more information that we could gather about her. Right now, though, I know that it is heavily warded and quite possibly guarded. I personally wouldn't want to try it, but
Do you know what kind of
I'm a
reward?
bard that just got some good looking face. What are you talking about? I can get in Syntycha's
Unfortunately, it's
chamber.
also a touch spell.
Too soon? Yeah. What kind of wards are you aware of?
I'm, of course, unfortunately, I'm not that well versed. I'm just assuming because of her ability, I wouldn't want to touch that door. And
Oh, no. We wouldn't go through the door. We'd go through the wall.
oh, he says, "Well, that's impressive."
Right, Kiffy?
Have hammer will travel through a wall.
Just possibility.
No, we like their architecture. Just take it down.
Just need some. It may not be stone. It could be wood.
Right.
All of our swords and daggers would do that work, but I'm not opposed to taking a peek.
I mean,
Quick question.
sometimes you have to
She never accepted the rose.
statement.
She never accepted the rose I'm supposed to bring. Maybe we can get an audience in her chambers to present the rose.
Not with the way she was looking to
Okay,
kill us.
look. We have an enemy. All right? And that's an understatement. Now, we don't know what parameters this enemy has, so we need to find out. And on top of that, she's the princess. She's the heir apparent. So we're fucked. So we can either do this, use the teleport spell to get the hell out of here,
Or you have a backup character.
that's exactly right.
Storm the keep.
I bet it's a wizard.
Actually, it's a clerk.
Woo! I want to see that shit. Anyway, all right. Teleport spell. Let's roll. Let's go.
Well,
45 minutes.
we should go. Well, how would it be easier to get a teleport scroll here or on the western side of the mountains?
I thought we were going to take a tree and then teleport back.
That's what I
We're going
thought.
to take a tree. We have a teleport. I would like to have a couple of teleport spells as backup. I've seen how this group operates.
We
Shit
don't
can go
have
weird.
we don't have enough money to buy the scroll, and I can't cast that spell.
Yeah, but I've got new. I look like Ben Affleck. Somebody will give it to me.
Well,
Have you not seen
Ben
Halo?
Affleck's ass.
Why don't everybody throw a little ball on the floor?
Yes, Timble.
Okay. We were sent here as envoys from Bissell.
And the yeomanry.
To
Let's-
get the elves to assist.
Okay.
We might be able to leverage, say, some monies from Bissell for this. It is going towards this. I mean,
Okay.
towards getting the. I mean, it's not like it can't be rationalized.
All right, actually, let's take this to a different level. I get where you're going, Albie. Brian, I don't know how the rules of money lending go in your world, but I'm like willing to lay my family crest ring down as a pledge for some money.
No. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I don't think I'd let you, as much as I hate you.
Wow.
Bad idea. Bad idea.
No, because I can sit there and say, hey guys, here's the deal. We believe in this plan. We really need X to get to Y to Z.
You don't want them to hand it back to you and say, "This is just pewter."
Well, I know that it would be emotionally crushing and probably put me back to a -2 charisma. but
Be a permanent sad face.
Question.
I would be a mime.
Question. Path. Path.
Yes.
Herodias. What's his sphere?
Tortoise has no fear.
Helping women.
Sphere. S-P-A.
Fear. He fears. Like he just fear no one. I think it's like honor, law,
Shit, none apply.
virtue, that kind of He's lawful good.
So, he is opposed to evil.
Yes.
Our enemy is evil.
Yes.
So, you think
You
we
read-
can get, you think we can get some financial assistance from the temple?
So
I mean, you tithe all the time.
I don't think that's how that.
I think we're making a longer route than we really need to. We have the means to get there and the means to get back.
But one
Go
time,
ahead, Mike. What do you got?
Well, first thing is we haven't talked to Aldor at all, who might
Oh
be
my
able
God,
to
Michael,
randy
what's
us
the reason? I
where we
said
need
this
to
earlier.
go. And second of all, our job is to secure assistance for Bissell, so all of this other stuff is kind of hair splitting.
Yep. I mean, Kellex is kind of conflicted right now because Bissell and Melda and stuff like that, but
okay,
Yeah.
guys, this whole Bissell thing, I may have been pressed into the army, but I am not of Bissell.
I'm just saying that's the reason we came here. So I mean, if we really came here for that reason, then we should try to do the job.
Well,
And I agree with
we are
Mike. I
going
mean,
to- we're going to go back to Pelic or wherever, find Melda, tell her all this stuff, see if she wants to come back. If she doesn't, we don't go back.
we don't know if she's in Pelic, so
What about this
Regardless.
check I have?
Say again?
What about this check?
What's his check say?
Is going to write a treasury check for the realm of Bissell. Brian responds, laughing out loud. My response is, I like that idea. If you have checks, you
I
still
rolled
have
a
this,
32.
right?
Very good.
We're being stupid while you guys argue semantics.
well, that's why I asked if could I get away with saying, "Fine, my family will undersign this," kind of thing.
So, Brian, I have a question.
Okay.
We've been talking like this. What is Val doing at this point?
Laughing at us.
Well, Fowl is, of course, just he's not really too sure how much more he can really help. Knowing, said you all have to make this journey. How you make it is really kind of up to you. I mean, he doesn't hold the purse strings of Celene.
No, we're sitting here talking about killing us.
Well, yeah, he's not a big fan of that idea. That's kind of a little weird. And his assassination's not. It's kind of frowned upon. People. He would. He definitely stops you and says, he would rather see his sister deposed than assassinated. That would be better. It certainly doesn't look good on the monarchy if they're just killing their children off like willy-nilly. It didn't look good when, like in the past. I mean, there's been some bloodshed. Thank goodness the whole Melda thing and Kalashan and all of that was kept pretty hush-hush. Because, they swept that under the rug pretty well. Everybody knows who Syntycha is. You just murder her outright. There may be questions. Like, heavy questions.
Yeah, but to kill her.
Yeah, because, you also have to understand that Syntycha also has other nobles in the court that are sympathetic to her cause.
Of
to her
course.
ascension. So there could be a civil war situation that would rip Celene apart pretty much.
Well,
But-
if you're going to assassinate, you don't just walk in and slash her throat in front of everyone.
No, I'm
You
gonna
do.
say while she's sleeping.
A bit of intrigue, but I would much rather have her deposed. Yes.
Yeah,
But
that
I
would
hear
be
from you.
that would be easier, or it'd be nicer. Yeah. So
I say we bring her. We ask her if she wants to come here. If she doesn't, then we have to have an offline conversation. All right, what do we do if she doesn't? And then let it all shake out.
So we're back to plan A.
Is it really plan A, or is that like plan C plus 2?
A.1C maybe? I don't know.
C++.
But if we're gonna travel by tree, we need to get the horses. We need to figure out which tree we're traveling from and where we're planning on ending up and how far we think we're gonna be from where we're trying to get. And how do we even find Melda?
Holy shit, this sounds like the ASVAB where they say, now those that are taking this part of the ASVAB, open envelope 6.
Your Highness, is there a way for me to find someone who could cast a sending message for me?
Ooh.
I would talk with Moore's Ivy about that. He would probably be able to help you.
Can he be trusted?
With
Have a
I-
choice.
left, I think
I am not really too sure. I'm not really too sure where his feelings lie in this situation. He is a very
Is there
secretive elf.
Is there perhaps some other wizards in this area, this town, somewhere that you would know to be loyal?
None that I actually know. I mean, him being the court wizard, he has always been the one I went to if if I needed help with arcane knowledge or to talk to him about things that I've seen in the wilds. But a lot of times, if I've seen things in the wild, I just go to my grandmother or one of her druids. So it wasn't really that big of an issue. Like I said, I don't know where he lies when it comes to this. Where his loyalties are. He has always been. I mean, he's been in court working with the Bell Meadows for probably close to 800 years. I mean, I've never questioned his loyalty. I'm sure my mother hasn't as well. So,
How old is your sister?
Syntycha is
Yes.
300.
Okay.
Or right around 300, yeah.
Well, then we should probably collect our things and head to Shira and see her.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know where else any of you would want to go. If I had people here in this area, I would go speak with them, but I don't. This is far beyond my normal reach. I would say that I think we should go to Shira and talk with her a bit. She may be able to help you with the sending. She may, because I didn't hear her say that she would send us there. I heard her say that she didn't know every tree in the world. But I think we've got some leeway. And she did ask to hear what transpired.
She did suggest that Aldor might be able to teleport us where we want to go. So maybe we should talk to Aldor.
That much.
And we're off.
Okay. So Val says, well, good luck. We'll show you where Aldor's tower is. It's actually not on the grounds, so we'll actually have to go back into town. but it's not that big of a deal, actually. So he, takes you back out, takes you out through and into the city itself. And instead of making the right or a left to go to the large tree and to the druid area, he takes you down into which you can kind of figure is maybe more of an artisan section. And there is a large stone tower which is perched there, and it actually kind of lines up with one of the moss or the ivy-covered walls that surround Innstat itself. At the very, very top of it is a round peaked roof, and sticking from it is a very, very familiar-looking item.
A telescope.
To all of you, there is a telescope that just bears the just unbelievable, remarkable. It just looks like the one that Toby had pretty much ridden on and had tried to convince.
Smash.
It's a monorail.
It's a monorail. So,
Wow,
yeah.
I want to go in here.
Okay, so Val, raps on this door, and a couple of minutes later, you see the door opens up, and on the other side is you're not really too sure exactly what it is. It looks to be humanoid. It looks as though that it is made of certain plates of metal. You wouldn't call it a golem. It's more mechanical. And you can see that there is actually steam that is being actually put out from like a small pipe in like the top of its skull. It just looks really, really strange. And it says, hello and welcome. And it says, oh, Prince Val, you are back. How nice to see you once again. It has been 372 days, 24 minutes since your last visit. and Val just looks as, yes. What is Moore's Ivy in? And the mechanical human or person or whatever it is says, yes, Master Moore's Ivy is in. Would you like to see him? And of course, Val said, yes, please. Will you? Or I don't really particularly need to see him, but my fellows here need to talk with him about passage, teleportation. And the thing says, yes, follow me. And it starts to make its way up the staircase. And it's kind of slow and a little clunky, but it at least it's keeping somewhat of a pace. Val just sort of looks at you and says, good luck. If there's anything that else I can do, make sure to reach out. Hope to see you. And hopefully you'll have some good news when you return.
Hope there's some mail with you.
When will I see you again?
And so you follow the mechanical person up the staircase until you finally get to, it looks like a sitting room. And you can see there is like a drafting table off to one side, and Moore's Ivy is poring over something on this drafting table. He's making little like arcane symbols and things that he's placing on. It looks as though he's building a scroll. He's putting things onto a scroll, and he turns as he hears the mechanical man make its way up, and he says, "Oh, hello, welcome to my tower." He says, "I know you. We have chatted. Oh no, we haven't. I saw you at court. The Queen was cross." Yes, sorry about that. Yeah, that's kind of rare for her. How can I help you?
Well, we do try to set ourselves apart from everybody else, so...
Okay. Well, you definitely made an impression.
She will remember us. That's true.
It sure sounds like it. And
We sure hope so.
he turns to the mechanical princess. Terry, you can go ahead and return back to the tower base. I've got it from here, and obviously the name Terry.
Does she look like the C-3PO android in?
Kinda. The metal isn't as shiny. It looks more like it's just like somebody had taken like leftover shield metal and just beaten it into something and be like, oh, okay, this works. You can see like there's
like Stone River.
yeah, kind of like from Spaceballs. Yeah.
Yep.
Terry says, as you wish, master, and turns and starts to clunk its way down the stairs. I said, so how can I help you?
We need to go someplace.
And where would you like to go? That will be the deciding factor.
Pelic.
You wish to go to Bissell. Interesting. I'm trying to think, when was the last time I was in Bissell? I think I was under 500. Oh, okay. Well, no, I can get you there. I'm pretty sure I can. I am going to need some material components. I just sent someone to Greyhawk earlier this morning, and I've unfortunately used up some of my some of the components that I need for it. Would it be possible that you could come back this evening?
We really
Absolutely.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. If you can, maybe come back at... Let's see, I gotta see if I've got any imps that can go collect all this stuff. I know I have. Come back at 9.
Alrighty.
All right. Once again,
Well,
yes. Once again, good luck, and I will see you at 9, and we shall get you to Pelic. Excellent. Okay. So, you head back down the staircase. You pass by Terry, the automatonic person or something. Let yourselves out. And now you're back out. You're in the, like I said, this sort of artisan district. Where would you like to go? What would you like to do?
We are tavern mongers.
we're going to find a place to sit and give us one to go.
Let's try to stay out.
We got 25 minutes. We'd be in a lot of trouble.
Okay.
I did say try.
Well, I'm going to go to the Druid Grove.
Okay. Yeah, so Timble goes to the Druid Grove. Anybody else going to the Druid, the tree?
Why are we going to the tree?
Find someplace.
She asked us.
The lady we went back and tell her what told.
Okay.
All right, we got like 50, so let's walk around the horn. Brenna, where are you going?
I guess I'll go with you guys to the tree.
Kiffy.
Oh man, I'm so tired of elves, but I will go with you guys.
Tired of elves.
Bob, are you going to the tree too?
Yeah, where else go? I mean, where else are we gonna go? We're gonna go back to Palace and hang out.
Damn it! I was going to go to a bar. I even worked Jingle for it.
You can't
let's go to the
train
bar.
for 8 hours and then go on a trip. Even a dwarf wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Russ?
Might as well go to the tree. Unless you're going to a bar.
So everybody's going to the tree. Alrighty, so you walk across town and you finally make it back to the castle. Make your way through the gates, and this time you see that Asenath has is at this point in time walking back towards the actually entrance of the castle. Once again, she stops and waves, but doesn't greet you or anything. She just puts on this like a slight smile and waves. And make a perception check.
All of us?
All of you,
Finally.
because you're all there.
Oh, something. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Huh. Okay.
So, oh, okay. Wow, Kellex killed it. Kiffy killed it. Nice. Wait. Oh, okay. Wow. Actually, all of you see this. So, as you are kind of you kind of glance upwards, and on a second story window, you see Syntycha staring down from the window at you. Briefly glancing at Asenath as she makes her way past the guards and into the castle proper. As you make your way towards the little boat ramp, the little dock.
Brian,
Yeah.
Brian, entrant, message to Asenath.
Okay.
You're being watched.
Okay. So if you as you say that, you you messaged her. Is that what you did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. You see her stop in her tracks like right as she walks in the doorway once that message is received. And I believe that they can actually reply, can't they? I think a message can be replied, or is it just...
No, it's one way.
It's a one-way? Okay.
It's a one-way con.
Okay, so she immediately turns, and her eyes are like huge, and she looks right at the group, and she says,
I'm going to reach out
"Yeah,
and say,
You don't know what happened.
yeah, you don't." And then yeah, but she looked just like with bright, like these wide eyes. She immediately she points to her eye, and she puts her to her chest, and you kind of got this idea that she knows, and she turns and continues into the dark hallway beyond.
Okay. That's the first spell I've cast in 3 sessions.
Sorry. Damn.
It didn't kill anybody or hurt your allies.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's a bonus. Okay, so you all make it over to the tree, and like I said, a lot of the druids here, the numbers have kind of thinned out. So you're kind of thinking that some of them have already left for the day, or are off to do other druidic sort of things. But Shira is there tending to a root that had looked as though it had been damaged in some sort of way, and so she is applying. And as you approach her, she's kind of got her back to you, but you can hear her actually talking in Sylvan to the tree. She's addressing it, and from the way it sounds, it doesn't sound like it's just a one-way conversation. You can actually hear the wind through the branches above, and if anybody speaks Sylvan, you can hear it, and it's kind of anybody here speak Sylvan? Okay. Oh, is that Grenna?
It does.
Grenna. So yeah, Grenna, you're able to kind of understand what is actually being said, and is it as you all approach, you can hear it say, the Outlanders are back. Were you expecting them? And you hear Shira say, no, but they are friends. They mean us no harm. And the tree, you can hear, says, that's good. I certainly wouldn't want to have to do anything to them. And you hear Shira just go, "No, don't do anything. That it's not warranted. They're friendly." And so she stands and turns and faces you and says, welcome back. You saw the queen, I guess.
We did.
And what does she require?
To bring Melda back.
She just kind of like, I kind of had this feeling that that's where it was going to go. How did Syntycha react? Was she there?
Well, she reacted badly when I accused her of being a danger to Melda.
You see her. You just see her go pale for a moment. And says, "You crossed her." That was. You just hear her just let out this sigh of just defeat, and she's like, "Oh no."
By the way, she was watching Asenath, possibly us, outside from the second level.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me either.
I don't know what pull you have, but please look after the young lady.
I'll do what I can. I'll do everything that I can to protect her.
But you had asked us to tell you what transpired, and now you don't. Do you trust the good mage Eldor?
You roll an insight check.
Can we all roll on that?
Yeah, you all
Watching the
can.
question?
Yeah, all of you can.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, because you all are seeing her. And
Insight's one of my worst.
okay. Calyx and Kiffy and so Calyx, Kiffy, and Tomas. Okay, so you guys are sitting there, and you see this sort of wry smile just sort of cross her face, and you're thinking, "Oh, that's interesting."
Is that from a devious, as in, yeah, I trust her because we've got a whole plan moving on behind the scenes, or is that a yeah, I trust her because we went to the same sorority and we banged all the fucking dwarven dudes that visited from Tapakega every day?
No. What you're kind of getting is that they, Aldor and Shira, are friends.
Okay.
That it's a smile of remembrance and also of probably adoration.
So a good smile, right place, right time.
Yes. Yeah, perfect time.
Okay.
Yeah. She says, "Yes, I do trust Aldor." And she still has that smile on her face, like a knowing sort of smile. She says, "Why? Has he done
like
something?"
Anything else? No, we don't know anyone here.
Okay.
At least we've shared beer with in Marydale. I mean, it's
True.
You know, I trust you, and it's your family. But beyond that, Val, I trust him.
Yes, he's
Not
good.
so certain that I trust everyone else. I think Asenath is certainly, well, innocent, but that doesn't mean anything. You know,
True.
I just.
So,
But if you trust him, I guess we have to take your word on it, and we'll move forward.
is there anything else I can help you with?
Question.
Is there a way you can get us there faster?
Where
No, we've already made our appointment.
you're
Besides, I'm expecting that we're not going to make it there gay.
Well,
So you're
I'm
asking for a place to sit back and relax that may be safe?
until we walk.
She says, well, I mean, you don't have much. When are you supposed to depart? You did talk with
9.
Aldor.
Yes.
He told us to come back at 9.
What was he? Why is he waiting?
Because he needed to collect more, needed his imps to collect more components.
His imps
You
are
said
idiots.
Something about I've already sent somebody to Greyhawk.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, actually, he did it for me. I had a couple of druids ended up going to Greyhawk for some
Druidic shit.
some certain plants that were more from that area that I'm requiring. These
Turkey sandwich.
yeah, those turkey sandwiches are pretty good. She just smiles and laughs about that. Actually, Aldor's brought me a few back before. She says he probably needs these, and she reaches over and opens up a couple of boxes, wooden crates, and she says, "Here, take these to him. Most likely, this is what he's looking for, and so he can teleport you pretty quickly. Shouldn't take him long to get you to where you need to go. I know it's starting to get a little bit dark now, but by the time you get there, at least I'll shave maybe an hour off of your weight."
Thank you so very much.
Are these like spell components for a spell?
Yeah.
Good Brian's okay?
Are we
So
muted?
No.
Okay. I have a question.
okay.
I think that's like 50 gold pieces worth of some dust. We could go drink on that.
Yeah, no. I have a question.
Yeah. No.
In Sylvan, I want to ask her what ails the tree.
She answers in Sylvan, and she says, "Oh, nothing ails the tree. It's just that sometimes the tree's roots, new roots will appear, and when they do, they have not been covered over, and can be easily damaged. And so I was just applying some salve to this exposed root so that it would actually." Be encapsulated faster than it would normally.
Awesome. Thank you.
Says, yeah, she just smiles at you and she says, "It's nice to run into others who speak the forest word." And she just gives you a really nice smile and says, "Well, good luck, and hopefully your return will be quick, and hopefully you will have my granddaughter in tow." And
Shall
so,
see.
okay, so you make your way back over to the boat, and you make your way back into town and through town. So finally, by the time you get back to Aldor is extremely thrilled to see that you brought you'd brought some the components that he requires. And within just a few short moments, you all are standing inside of a teleportation circle at the apex of this tower. And as you get up there, you can actually see the gigantic telescope thing and without a doubt, it's the telescope. You're all looking at it, just kind of oh damn, it's the telescope. It's the monorail, so to speak. And he says, actually, I was very fortunate to have a friend of mine who was traveling through Bissell not too long ago, and actually found this laying outside of an old tower that had collapsed. And it was interesting. And so, or actually, no, it wasn't a tower. It was, where was this? No, there was an encampment. And it was laying off to the side there, and so my friend took it and brought it back to me, and I put some new glass in it. It's actually quite useful. Don't know that much about it, though. Would love to have found out who the original owner was. So, he says you all are inside the teleportation circle. It is now dark outside. And the light from the tower spills out from the windows, and just a flash. Where did you want to go?
Pelic.
Bellet. Cool. Boom. So you appear in the teleportation center of the Master Wizard of Bissell. Which...
Tunnel!
Yeah. But as you land, you look around and you realize that the roof on this tower is completely missing. You can smell fire. Just unbelievable amounts of just smoke and ash. You can hear people screaming, and you can tell that there is something obviously very terrible and wrong. And just as you look up into the night sky above you, you see the gigantic shape of a dragon just soar past, and flames just blanketing everything around you. I'm sorry?
Do I have time to
roll
count?
initiative?
What do you
roll initiative now?
No, this is where we're going to stop for the evening.
To be continued in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Nice.
Okay.
And for the record, anybody just watched that whole thing. I was trying to put some medicine on my dog, some aloe vera on his back, and I noticed that I found out later that it had been leaking on the top of the beer can.
Oh no.
Beer, took a big drink of it,
Oh god.
and there was all the aloe vera goo on top of the fucking beer can.
Ooh.
You
Nasty.
guys must not like to see you on TV.
Nasty. All right, y'all. So 2 weeks, we will be back. For folks watching at home, make sure to you'll be able to see it on Twitch for I think the show stays up for I think like 2 weeks or something, but it's gonna be, you'll be able to watch it forever and ever and ever until YouTube just finally gets tired of us, and you can watch it over on YouTube. So yeah, you don't have to worry about it. If you don't catch it on Twitch, you can always catch it on YouTube. So guys, thanks very much. I hope everybody had a good time. I know it was more RP heavy, roleplay heavy than usual. Well, I mean, it's been a while, but we are getting to that point where we can't RP anymore. You're gonna have to fight something. It depends on what happens. So
believe me, Brian, I'm waiting to fight, and that's what I was saying. I knew we were out of time, but I was like, roll for initiative. Let's roll. There's a fucking dragon. I'm gonna ride that bitch.
I'm going to use it for material component.
So, yeah. So yeah,
Those components.
So yeah, I kind of figured you guys that would be a really good place a little cliffhanger for you as you're staring up into the smoke-filled night sky and see this just enormous dragon just fly past as it belches flames onto the city of Pelic below.
On a scale, do we get an age, like roughly, is it ancient, large, medium?
Because of the smoke, you're not able to tell the color or anything of that nature.
Size.
Yeah, but the size is just, you're kind of thinking that this is a mature adult. Not a great worm, but definitely a big dragon. I mean, it's a serious dragon.
Good.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad somebody's excited about it. Everybody else is like, what?
Yeah. What else can happen?
Well, let's see. What do we know? Yeah. Not trying to metagame in this, but what do we know? Fire. So it's probably some sort of fire breathing. So that kind of limits the possible colors.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously red comes to mind.
Red comes to mind.
Lightning creates fires.
So that could be blue or copper.
Yeah, but But we all know lightning looks different in the clouds than fire in the
Yeah.
clouds, right? So it's a very electric blue sort of kind of thing.
And there would be a smell.
Maybe not. So
Oh.
this is gonna be fun.
This red.
Because you know, Brian, we're not going to run away. We're going to nut up right here and say, "Fuck it, fight this dragon."
Get him out of the sky first.
I'd much rather take that teleportation scroll, go back and assassinate the other.
I would rather assassinate the princess than deal with this dragon. I love that.
So-
That's awesome.
I'm just going to put this out here for everybody in case they didn't pay attention. So I'm not hiding anything. I said to myself, there is 0% chance I was going to let her touch my face and heal me. And I rolled a 0-0.
That was beautiful.
And I was like, holy butt fuck me in the shit taker. Because I was like, well,
I gotta write that one down.
I don't think I've ever heard that. That's very eloquent,
I was
I
like,
guess.
here it goes. So I am going to tell you, as possibly some quirks take off, I'm going to look up some psychosis rules. Maybe I can find some funny psychosis rules. I am totally in with the Princess Syntycha, or the Queen of Celene.
Do what?
You are going to see Tomas go down this road, guys. So I'm just warning you out front. So there's no Toby event.
Wait, you're gonna go after Yolanda?
Let's feed into the
Lana. Yeah, she did it. Like, she cured me of whatever ailed me. By the way, which is a
That,
dream.
that wasn't Yolanda. That was Shira.
Oh, who was it?
Shira was the one who cured you. Or fixed your
Shira?
face. Shira. Yeah.
Sure. Good.
The
Wait,
druid.
I hear 5 different voices. Shira of the druid, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Who's she aligned with?
She's grandma.
I
got it. It's Meemaw. I got it. I'd bang Meemaw.
See, you're into old chick.
You're in the gilfs.
Old chicks.
No, because Meemaw is Annie Pot from, in Young Sheldon. But she was also the chick in Pretty in Pink.
Oh.
Right.
And she was hot then.
Oh, Annie Potts?
Yeah.
Damn right.
Meemaw was hot. I'll
I
bang
didn't
Meemaw.
connect it until you said something.
Yeah, Annie Potts is awesome. Yeah. Especially back in the 80s. Holy shit.
I
Yeah.
think she held it together. I think she held it together great to be
Yeah.
older than us and still looking hot. So I'll give her a pop.
Yeah, as a person who can actually, I remember, was it singer? She was in Designing Women for like ever, I guess, the whole series. So yeah, that was good. Alrighty, so I guess we're good here. So so we'll catch you in 2. So folks watching at home, make sure to let's see. We don't have anything going on this weekend. The following weekend will be what's going on next weekend? Not this weekend, but the following weekend will be Call of Cthulhu on Sunday nights at 6:30, followed by Thursday more D&D with you guys at 7. So just keep your eyes on the schedule for the stream, and you will see all of that good stuff. I'll try to make sure that the Facebook is up to date, as well as try to put something out on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. And we will catch you guys later. So y'all have a good night.
Cheers.
All right.
I don't have any beer. It's all tainted. Go back and watch me pick up that shirt. Just like, oh my god, I literally ate like half a fucking